Welcome. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by calculus, you are in the right place. Today, we are going to master every single basic and advanced rule for mathematical derivations. By the end of this video, you will look at any function and know exactly how to find its derivative. Let's get straight into it because your time is valuable. The most fundamental building block is the constant rule. Imagine a function f of x equals c, where c is just a plain number like 5, 10, or -100. In calculus, the derivative represents the slope or the rate of change of a function. If you graph a horizontal line like f of x equals 5, that line never goes up or down. Its slope is 0. Therefore, the derivative of any constant is always 0. In formal terms, f of x equals c implies that f prime of x equals 0. For example, if we have the function f of x equals 5, we simply identify that 5 is a constant and conclude that f prime of x equals 0. It does not matter how large the constant is, whether it is 1 million or pi, the rate of change is 0. Next, we move to the power rule, which is the workhorse of calculus. This rule applies to functions where x is raised to a power, such as f of x equals x to the power of n. To find the derivative, you take the exponent n, bring it down to the front as a multiplier, and then reduce the original exponent by 1. The formula is f prime of x equals n times x to the power of n minus 1. Let's look at f of x equals x to the power of 4. First, we take the 4 and move it in front of the x. Then, we look at the exponent 4 and subtract 1, which gives us 3. So, the derivative f prime of x equals 4 times x to the power of 3. This rule is incredibly powerful and applies to positive integers, negative numbers, and even fractions. Often, you will see a number sitting in front of your x term. This is where the constant multiple rule comes in. It states that if you have a constant c multiplied by a function g of x, the derivative is simply that constant c multiplied by the derivative of the function. Essentially, the constant just tags along for the ride. Let's try f of x equals 3 times x to the power of 5. We keep the 3 exactly where it is. Now, we apply the power rule to x to the power of 5. Bringing the 5 down gives us 5 times x to the power of 4. Finally, we multiply our constant 3 by the 5 we just brought down. 3 times 5 is 15. So, f prime of x equals 15 times x to the power of 4. What happens when you have a long string of terms connected by plus or minus signs? You use the sum and difference rule. This rule tells us that the derivative of a sum is just the sum of the derivatives. You can treat each part as its own little problem. If f of x equals g of x plus or minus h of x, then f prime of x equals g prime of x plus or minus h prime of x. Consider the function f of x equals x to the power of 3 plus 2 times x to the power of 2. We handle the first part first. The derivative of x to the power of 3 is 3 times x to the power of 2. Then the second part, for 2 times x to the power of 2, we bring the 2 down to multiply with the other 2, getting 4, and decrease the power to 1. So we get 4 times x, putting it together, f prime of x equals 3 times x to the power of 2 plus 4 times x. Now things get a bit more interesting. When you have two functions of x multiplied together, you cannot just multiply their individual derivatives. That is a very common mistake. Instead, we use the product rule. If f of x equals u of x times v of x, then f prime of x equals u prime of x times v of x, plus u of x times v prime of x. Think of it as a dance, derivative of the first, times the second left alone, plus the first left alone, times the derivative of the second. Let's look at f of x equals x to the power of 2 times sine of x. Here, u equals x to the power of 2, so u prime is 2 times x. Our second function v is sine of x, and as we will see later, its derivative v prime is cosine of x. Applying the formula, we get f prime of x equals 2 times x times sine of x, plus x to the power of 2 times cosine of x. If you are finding this helpful, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Similar to multiplication, division requires its own special rule called the quotient rule. If you have a fraction where f of x equals u of x divided by v of x, the derivative f prime of x equals the derivative of the top times the bottom, minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, all divided by the bottom squared. Let's use f of x equals e to the power of x divided by x. Here, our top function u is e to the power of x, and its derivative u prime is also e to the power of x. Our bottom function v is x, and its derivative v prime is 1. Plugging these into our formula, we get the quantity e to the power of x times x, minus e to the power of x times 1, all divided by x to the power of 2. We can simplify the numerator by factoring out e to the power of x, giving us f prime of x equals e to the power of x, times the quantity x minus 1, all over x to the power of 2. The chain rule is perhaps the most important rule for complex functions. It is used when one function is nested inside another. We call this a composite function, u of v of x. The rule is, take the derivative of the outer function while keeping the inner function the same, and then multiply by the derivative of the inner function. Let's look at f of x equals in parentheses 3 times x plus 1 to the power of 2. The outer function is something to the power of 2. Its derivative would be 2 times that something. The inner function is 3 times x plus 1, and its derivative is just 3. So, f prime of x equals 2 times the quantity, 3 times x plus 1, then multiplied by the inner derivative 3. Multiplying 2 and 3 gives us 6, so we have 6 times the quantity 3 times x plus 1, which simplifies to 18 times x plus 6. There are some functions whose derivatives you simply need to memorize to be efficient. Let's go through the list. The derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. The derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x. Notice that c functions often result in a negative sign. The derivative of e to the power of x is the easiest of all. It is just e to the power of x. It is its own derivative. For the natural log, the derivative of ln of x is 1 divided by x. If you have a different base, like a to the power of x, the derivative is a to the power of x times ln of a. Finally, the derivative of tangent of x can be written as 1 plus tangent to the power of 2 of x, or more commonly as 1 divided by cosine to the power of 2 of x. Many students get stuck on square roots, but they are just hidden powers. The square root of x is the same as x to the power of 1 divided by 2. Once you rewrite it this way, you can use the power rule. If f of x equals x to the power of 1 divided by 2, then f prime of x equals 1 divided by 2 times x to the power of negative 1 divided by 2. To make this look cleaner, remember that a negative exponent moves the term to the denominator. So, f prime of x equals 1 divided by 2 times the square root of x. This transformation is a vital skill for simplifying your work. Just like roots, fractions with x in the denominator should be rewritten using negative exponents before you start. If you see f of x equals 5 divided by x to the power of 3, rewrite it as 5 times x to the power of negative 3. Now, apply the power rule. Bring the negative 3 down to multiply with the 5, which gives you negative 15. Then, subtract 1 from the exponent. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So we have negative 15 times x to the power of negative 4. Converting this back to a fraction, we get f prime of x equals negative 15 divided by x to the power of 4. This is much faster than using the quotient rule. Finally, we have the most complex case, logarithmic differentiation. This is necessary when you have a function where both the base and the exponent contain x, like y equals x to the power of x. Neither the power rule nor the exponential rule works here. Instead, we take the natural log of both sides, ln of y equals ln of x to the power of x. Using log properties, we bring the exponent x to the front, ln of y equals x times ln of x. Now we differentiate implicitly. The derivative of ln of y is 1 divided by y times y prime. On the right side, we use the product rule for x times ln of x, which gives us 1 times ln of x, plus x times 1 divided by x. This simplifies to ln of x plus 1. To solve for y prime, we multiply both sides by y. Since y equals x to the power of x, the final result is y prime equals x to the power of x times the quantity ln of x plus 1. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the simplest constants to complex logarithmic derivations. Mastering these rules is all about practice and recognizing which rule to apply at the right time. If you found this deep dive into calculus helpful, please like the video and subscribe for more clear math tutorials. Thank you for watching and keep practicing.